Welcome to another day of How to ABX. It is 10/17/2023 and it is Paralyze season. And today is one of the worst days for ABX in my opinion. It's Combat Female Day. We don't really have a lot of good options when it gets near the cap. With that being said, I think She-Hulk's the meta. She is a tier 3 character, but it's okay. We can work with that. Typically, we can do like a swap cancel. Today she cancels, so you don't need to do a swap. You don't need to strike her. Basically, she needs a rage. Like an anger proc or a rage, both of these are going to work. A normal proc just doesn't seem to work because she seems to proc early. I'm going to walk you through a rotation really quick, give you an example, and if you want to stick around, I'll give you additional information afterwards, like alternate options and why I built her with the team I have her with. Basically, a rotation is a 3 delayed cancel. You're waiting for her to do the punch on 3, and then you're going to do 2, 5, 4 real quick. You want to proc on the 4s where you want your proc. 1 is kind of a filler skill. Then you're going to do a 3 delayed cancel, 2, 5, 6. 6 is pretty long. She does this little bursty scream at the end, and then you kind of rinse and repeat. Let me go ahead and show you that in action, and then, like I said, I'll give you additional info if you want to stick around after. All right, so she's the lead. We're going to do a 3, 2, 5, 4. There's the proc. Procced a little bit early, like I said. After she's done with the 4 there, you're going to do a 1 kind of as a filler, and you're going to do another 3, then you're going to do 2, 5, 6. As you can see, those procs come early. Right here is that bursty scream, jump, scream. That's what we want. And we're going to do a 3, 2, 5, 4. Again, that proc comes early. It is hard to keep her procs on. This 1 with the filler, sometimes I'll do it a little bit early just to get her procs back on, so I'll actually cut off a little bit of the 4 because it's more important that you keep her procs on than allowing the whole 4, in my opinion. There we go. There's that early proc again. Alright, we're going to work with this the best we can. It is important to know when the roars are. You should by now, by watching some of my videos and other people's videos, you should know where the roars are. Cool. We're going to get the whole thing off, and he's going to jump away just as I do that final burst. Fantastic. I'm going to wait until he's targetable with that 3 so we can get the cancel off. So we are going to delay until he does that little stomp with his paw. Alright, now our proc should be back on right here. Anytime. There we go. Little bit late. Like I said, that's why you really... She's not proc friendly at all. In my opinion. I just don't have a lot of luck with procking with her. As you can see here now, all the procs are late. Sometimes they're early, sometimes they're late. Maybe if I cancel a little bit quicker, it might be easier to keep them on par, and keep them on track, but yeah, I've always had difficulty with it. Alright, 116 is that second roar. This is only on Paralyze season, otherwise it's always has a tendency to be 126. Now I skipped the 6 that time, because I know he's about to jump center here. And we're going to wait, and then right here, boom. Alright, and now we can let the 6 play out. Alright, let's see how many procs we can get on. Do not proc early. Alright. Sometimes I feel like there needs to be a delay when you're going to use the 6 in the rotation just because of... I'm going to throw in a 1 here. He's about to jump center again for the 38, but I think I have enough time to get in some damage from this one here. Sweet. So he's going to jump center. We're going to wait for a second. That proc's going to go away. That's good. We're going to do a 3, 2, 5, 6. Alright, that was a much better proc. We like that proc much better. And I'm actually going to let that 6 play out a little bit. Like I said, we want to, I guess, not just wait for the 3. I should have done 4 there while I'm talking. Not just wait for the 3, but probably wait for the 5 too so we can cancel into it. Alright, because if we can't cancel into that 5 and we're just sitting there with the proc early, that's probably part of why it's hard to keep those procs on. Anyway, here's the final one. I probably get hit closer to 10 million. I'll probably run that again later. Whenever I talk when I'm playing, I always score a little bit less. But I mean, that's still pretty close to what I'm going to be able to score with her. So 9,861,467. Cool. All right, let's talk about how my account's built because that affects what you're able to do. So we're going to show my cards real quick and X swords. Not for long. Pause the screen if you want to read it. I just like to do this in every video just so you're aware of what I'm using. So it's not just the rotation, it's also your build. So having your cards built and your X swords are important for all days for ABX and ABL. Really quick, here is She-Hulk's build, and then we'll talk about the team and alternate options. So she's a tier 3. She'll be a little bit further down here. She doesn't have the best build in the world. I don't use her for anything else but Combat Female Day and her leadership ability. So here's her overall details. A lot of people also do like a triple swap. You can do swap canceling, and this allows you to do the awaken skill on other characters. I don't do that. I don't like to do a lot of swapping unless I have to do it for canceling. You just do swapping to kind of always have those transcended skills that recharge on their own passively outside of combat. So a lot of people do swap canceling to score more. Here are the stats. I got all the important ones capped. Skill-wise, everything is, of course, maxed out. I got Power of the Angry Hulk on her. Any of the attack sets are fine. It's kind of based upon what your account needs. She does have her own artifact. It is not a type match, but it does do extra damage for gamma radiation allies, so that would affect her as well. Increase all basic attacks, basically. Nothing too super great there, but not bad either. Rage, just a normal rage at a 0.9. And her uniform, of course, is Marvel Studios She-Hulk, turning out Law at Mythic. Regardless of what you think of the show, this is the uniform to use. It's the best uniform, and it's probably the best option for today. You could use other characters, so let's talk about team comps and builds and who else you could use for today. Actually, I think for some reason, I forgot to show her her gear. Yeah, there you go. There's her gear. Not everything's amplified. But we have most of the stuff amplified, and we do have at least a 5-star, if not 6-star Uru, I think, on everything. Okay, yeah, we got 5 stars, so we could build that out more, too. So she could definitely be built a lot stronger. But again, since I don't use her very often, and it was just to increase my score a little bit, I used to use Civ, and Civ just doesn't do as well. She was scoring about 1 million less. So I got a little bit more damage than I'm now doing with almost 1 million to 2 million more by using She-Hulk. So she has a self-leadership. She has damage dealt, which is one of the best skills in the game, in my opinion, as far as doing damage in PvE. So 65% to male characters. Frost Beast is considered a male character, so there you go. It applies. The Civ over here, you need Civ's newest uniform. You need the Asgard Invasion one, which gives you a uniform effect, which gives increase of speed for all allies, and also increase damage dealt to bosses by 45%. So now we're stacking up there pretty good. And then over here, of course, with Valkyrie, you don't necessarily need her uniform, but with her uniform, she gives that 55% damage dealt. She also has an insight. So you'll want to have an insight character on one of your teams, on any of your teams. I consider this to be the meta team. Other options, of course, is if you do not have She-Hulk for some reason, you could use Titania. She also has a self-leadership. She works with this team as well. And I think the swap cancel, basically, if I remember correctly, I think it's She-Hulk, Titania, and Valkyrie or Civ. I think Valkyrie. But I've never used it before, so I don't know how good it is. And I'm happy with the score I'm getting. Almost 10 million is good enough for me. I don't know how much more I could push it if I swapped it. I keep saying swap cancel. I just mean swap play. I apologize. It's swap play, not swap cancel. But yeah, when you're looking at leadership options, like, I mean, Crescent here is a fine lead, but she's not really good. She has a self-lead here with Titania, and of course She-Hulk has her own self-lead as well. Those are pretty much the leadership options for today. Civ with her uniform's a passive support character, but she also has a decent leadership as well. She has self-leadership also, but the extra hit points doesn't really help for any of the female combat teams today. And then you can use, of course, Valkyrie for all the teams. She's just a fantastic support character in all game modes, but she's usable today as well. Valkyrie can do today, so you could use Valkyrie, you could use She-Hulk, you could use Titania. I don't think I would recommend anyone else. I think Crescent and Civ both have fallen off, and even X-23's never really been good in this particular game mode. So even though she's okay at other game modes, I think she's mostly just like a Shadowlands character at this point. World Boss Legendary, she can do kind of some of the lower stages, but I just never seen anyone really use her too much for ABX. Actually, you know what? I take that back. I think when she first got this uniform, she was okay in ABX for a while there. I don't remember using her long, but I do remember swapping with Civ. But Civ's latest uniform, I think, does better than her uniform, so that's why I kind of discontinue using her altogether. All three of these characters, I wouldn't use them unless you had no other option. It's pretty much She-Hulk's #1. I think Titania's #2 and Valkyrie's #3, in my opinion, for as far as usable characters for today. But anyway, hopefully that's helpful and informative. Thank you for watching, and as always, may your ABX scores be as high as possible. I'll catch you in the next one.